What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today is a pretty darn good day when it comes to the future of the whole Battlefield franchise. Tom Henderson heard from his sources, and he put together a brand new article about some future information coming into Battlefield. And I gotta say, all the stuff that he has planned and said is pretty promising, but again, there's some things that we have to stay cautious about, which we will talk about a little bit later. But before we get into that topic, I do want to flash this up on the screen as well, because I think this is very important information too. But over on Twitter, I saw a post by Teabag Gaming YouTube, which I thought was outstanding. He went ahead and said, friendly reminder of what a real Battlefield game looks like. Real soldiers, real battles, incredible sound design, epic music, great maps, lots of content. You can fill in the rest with a little, clip at the bottom of it. I thought it was an outstanding tweet. But what I did not notice is that Marcus Leto actually went ahead and liked this tweet as well. For anybody who doesn't know who this individual is, I mentioned him multiple times in the past. Basically, he was one of the head people who created the Halo universe. And like I say in every single video and every single time I mention this man, the Halo universe and just Halo in general, one of the best franchises known to mankind. I mean, I guess as we reached more of the current Halo games, like, Halo 5, Halo Infinite, stuff like that, it's been a little bit more of a rougher patch. But I gotta say, just Halo in general, just simply campaigns, phenomenal. They typically always smack them straight out of the park. But why does this give you hope, you might ask? Well, Marcus has been going ahead and consistently liking pretty much any single tweet or any bit of information that revolves around this exact type of, information, I guess, being said about what we as the community want for Battlefield. He's never stranded away and liked anything about specialists or, anything that, the massive majority of the community hates about Battlefield 2042. He doesn't go ahead and encourage that type of stuff. He mostly puts all of his focus on stuff like this. Now, again, like I said, you gotta stay cautious because this could be a whole marketing scheme. We have absolutely no idea what's going on behind the scenes or if EA has any say or any doing. And, Marcus going on and liking all this stuff and being very specific and, making sure the community is, quote-unquote, being heard. But for some strange reason, I have this gut feeling that he's actually a very genuine dude. I don't feel this way towards a lot of developers, even some of my favorite games out there. Like Modern Warfare 2 and, Treyarch titles as well with David Vaughn or, Robert Bowling back in the day with some of the classics and stuff like that. All of these individuals who made some really good Call of Duty games, I still never completely felt like they were very genuine people. They always seem kind of shady. I'm a very, very picky guy when it comes to who I associate myself with, who, I talk to, anything. Some people learn this sooner than other people in life, but a lot of individuals are, snakes. A lot of fake people are out there in this world. I've always kept a very small friend group when it comes to, online with some of the homies and also in real life with my, IRL homies. I always keep very small groups because the more people, the more possibility for fakeness and people who let you down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very picky with the individuals who I feel good towards, and it's something about Marcus that just completely stands out. I mean, the dude even has a photo of him and one of the OG developers. You guys remember that one developer I made a couple of videos about who gave his opinion on Battlefield 2042, who thought the game wasn't the most outstanding thing out there? The one who was one of the head minds between Bad Company 2 and also Battlefield 3? Yeah, he actually has been hanging around that man quite a bit. IRL, not, talking online or associating through, no, like actually in real life, they've been associating together. Probably not for game purposes, most likely just for social talk, but still, that's a very, very, very solid thing. And as a fan of the franchise, it's a positive thing to see that, But again, I understand, he's just one individual in the whole overall picture. Even though he's a very big individual in this picture, it's not like he's a very small developer. No, him and Vince Zampella are massive names right now. I think they're actually the leads of the whole Battlefield franchise at this point. So to see one of the leads when it comes to Battlefield is fantastic, saying all this stuff. And I've also seen multiple people say, well, he only works on the campaign side of things, so don't get excited for multiplayer. But let's be real here. I mean, even if it's on the campaign side of things, that's what creates the atmosphere of the game. If the campaign's atmosphere is bad, it leaks over to the multiplayer side of things as well. 9 times out of 10, that's usually how things work. I mean, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1 had amazing stories, and again, it pretty much leaked over to the multiplayer side of things. Very gritty, gory wars. The sounds, the music, the atmosphere were all outstanding. Yeah, some game mechanics and things that they introduced into Battlefield 5 were just god-awful and trash, but the atmosphere was still there from the campaign all the way over to multiplayer. Some of the best OG Call of Duty games that I love down to the core were games like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, World at War, Call of Duty 4, some of the best Call of Duty games I've ever played, and their campaigns transferred over pretty much to the multiplayer side of things. You see what I'm saying here? Campaign is very crucial, and if the atmosphere can be marked in campaign as very good and, solid, it's going to move over to the multiplayer side of things as well. So he is a huge piece of the puzzle. It doesn't matter if he's not working on a multiplayer. I don't give a crap. He is massive when it comes to the atmosphere of the overall Battlefield game. But like I said a little bit earlier, this is not the main reason why I still have a little bit of hope when it comes to the overall Battlefield franchise. Tom Henderson put together an article, and he heard from his source that although the next Battlefield game is in its pre-production stage, one inside source has said that valuable lessons have been learned following the release of Battlefield 2042. I think we'll be reverting a lot of the changes we made in Battlefield 2042, it was said. This piece of information is, once again, like I said, absolutely huge. Now, obviously, like with any other bit of information, we should take it with a grain of salt, but still, with this being said, along with all of the other things that have been happening in the past, I am kind of looking forward to see what they have in store when it comes to the next Battlefield game. Now, this is not me saying I'm hype for the next Battlefield. This is not me saying I'm supporting the next Battlefield. I personally am not going to pre-order it. I am not going to encourage anybody to pre-order it. And I'm also not going to encourage anybody to buy it. I will be covering it. I will be talking about details of the game, but the number one thing I'm going to be doing is telling everybody to not purchase until they watch someone who has reviewed the game or already played it. But when you really sit down and think about it, it does not seem like EA is messing around anymore. Like I said, a lot of people think this is the end of the franchise, but Battlefield is one of the biggest games in EA's portfolio. If Battlefield goes down, I don't think anybody truly understands the massive amount of income that EA will lose. Everybody jokes about it and everybody messes around, but if I was the head of EA, Battlefield's the last game I want out of my portfolio. Like I said, I don't think anybody puts, 2 and 2 together on this whole situation here. So when they saw the failure, the after failure, I guess I should say, of Battlefield 2042, they did everything, and you have to think a lot of the old, developers and top dogs have already left the game. They're long gone. I think Battlefield 1 was when the majority of them have already left. I forget what the number was, like less than 10% of the developers that have been OG devs are still working at the studio, which means about 90%, 90+% of the developers there are new to the whole Battlefield franchise. No shit, Battlefield 2042 turned out like garbage, along with absolutely horrible management. The management, once again, like I said, is the key to the failure of Battlefield 2042. Because these new developers don't even know how to use the engine that Battlefield runs on. You have to understand, the engine that Battlefield runs on is very, very stupidly complex. Hence why every game releases in a very bad, buggy, glitchy form, because it's hard to work on. So, picture this. You're a brand new developer. You just got hired by EA. You go in to work on one of the hardest engines in the universe to possibly work on a Battlefield game with. All the OG devs who have, perfected their craft are no longer there to step you through things. And I'm gonna be real with you. Whenever I get a new job, I look to the people who've been there the longest, because they give you the best information, they have the best tips, they have the best tricks. And the management won't even help you try to understand what makes a good Battlefield game, what their past formulas have been when it comes to the OG Battlefield titles, how to perfect the engine and how to work along with it, so you can have as little mistakes as you could possibly get, because obviously you're going to have bumps and, a bunch of bad things to happen along the road, but you have to learn how to work along with the bad things as well, and that's what these developers do. They find little, tips and little tricks to help go along with the flow, which they share with one another. I'm sure the management hasn't done that. Management has been so egotistical that they ruined the title. Now management's gone, completely replaced with Vince Impella, one of the masterminds behind some of the best Call of Duty games out there, I believe Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, along with going on and making Respawn with the Titanfall franchise, and then again going on to make Apex Legends. The man has not missed. You can say as much as you want about him, turning Battlefield into, some crappy hero shooter, but he has not done that. Titanfall wasn't a crappy hero shooter. Apex Legends is about it. Modern Warfare 2 wasn't a crappy hero shooter. He pretty much goes, and everything he touches turns into something pretty much fantastic. Now, we don't know if he's going to do it for Battlefield. We have no clue, but I'm just saying, it's pretty hopeful to hear that he is the head of Battlefield now. Along with Marcus, once again, another individual who made the Halo universe, one of the best universes out there, working on Battlefield now. And then on top of that, developers on the inside who are currently working on the current Battlefield project are saying that tons of things that went wrong, obviously with Battlefield 2042, are now being looked upon and completely changed for the future title. We don't know what these things are going to be. They could mean anything, but let's be real here. They got tons of feedback, loud and clear. I don't think we could have voiced our opinions any louder than we already did. So they know the issues that happened in Battlefield 2042. They're more than likely talking about specialists and just everything of that sort. Map designs, lack of content, lack of atmosphere, everything. And we got to keep it honest here. There's no hope for Battlefield 2042. All of this hopeful news, all of these individuals coming into the scene, like Vince and like I said, Marcus and all of them, they are not going to affect Battlefield 2042. Maybe slightly, but I don't think any way, shape, or form they're going to do anything. I mean, Marcus is still working on building the studio that he's going to, be head of. So they're not really going to be doing too much with the current title. So no hope for this game. It's a GG in the chat. They completely failed. But what I'm hoping is that they heard us loud and clear with the feedback of this title. I mean, the petition that hit over 200,000 people talking about it, the Reddit page being completely filled with nothing but hate, tons of YouTube channels just completely giving up on making content about the game because obviously it's nothing really to talk about. It's nothing interesting. They're not doing any updates. It's completely dead. Battlefield 5, they definitely heard a mouthful about that game. But again, a lot of the stuff they heard was before the game was released, which, once again, they fixed up. All the cosmetics and the atmosphere that they were trying to portray completely resolved before the game launched. And then all the in-game issues that we hated, like, how the health system worked and how little ammunition we had, and, this, that, tons of little tiny issues were slowly resolved up to current day. And I gotta say, the game is a little bit better now. Not absolutely amazing, still not the best game out there. It's probably still one of my most disliked Battlefield games in the franchise, but it definitely improved to a better state. So they didn't get that much bad feedback on that one, but Battlefield 2042, my god, there's not a possible chance the developers did not hear about this one. I mean, EA is already embarrassed enough even to talk about it. Again, they made their money's worth from it. They didn't go broke off of it at all, it definitely topped sales for the year, and it was right up there with Call of Duty. But the aftermath, the hatred, the mockery of the game, there is nothing positive when you think of the name Battlefield 2042. Nothing. Just memes, jokes, and trash talk. So clearly, between EA and DICE, they're pretty embarrassed of this title. I just can't imagine them. Doing another. But, I mean, we all thought that after Battlefield 5, and look here, we're dealing with Battlefield 2042. We have no clue. That's the scariest part about it, is that we have no clue. But again, we'll find out. With more information that releases, we'll go ahead and discuss it. We'll talk about it. That's the fun of, making YouTube content, YouTube videos. It's so many different, ideas and so many different things that go on that are just enjoyable to talk about and listen to. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like if you hated it. Leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with us, 2 ways to do so: Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me in live streams of video games and over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you all next one. Peace out.